What's up, YouTube? What's up, YouTube? We are back at the shop after vacationing for the holidays and ran into a little bit of a problem. Not really ran into a little bit of a problem, but a problem occurred while we were gone. So I pulled the 72 Coupe DeVille out. Today I'm gonna be working on getting the 79's transmission out so that we can get it to the transmission shop and get the transmission rebuilt on it. But while we were gone, if you can see, all of this on the floor is ceiling tile. And you know that we had a real cold spell come through. I'm surprised that it didn't do water damage to this light, but if you can see, the ceiling tile fell from the ceiling here and in my room where my compressor is. Ceiling tile fell, and that pipe right there delivers water to the bathroom over here, and that pipe come off, and pretty much we came back to find water running out of the bay, running out of the front of the bay, and running out of the back of the bay. So we had water running all the way down there, and water running out of the front there. So I'm gonna try to clean up a little bit of this real quick. Get my trash can over here. I mean, it's all in my sink and everything. Look at there. But yeah, I'm gonna try to got my toilet paper wet. You know, once a roll of toilet paper gets wet, that's it. At least this toilet paper was inside the plastic still. Hopefully it's still dry. But let me try to sweep some of this water out of here, and then we're gonna get started on removing the transmission out of the caddy. Last week, or the week before the holiday, I kind of loosened up all my bolts to get those ready. If you can see that bolt right there in the middle of the screen, it's gonna be one of the last two bolts that I gotta unloosen. I loosened all the ones at the top of the bell housing. So I have this this transmission jack here. And I borrowed this one from someone. I really don't like this one, just because it doesn't do exactly what I want it to do when I want it to do it. So it'll work and then not work, and then, you know, I can't trust the foot pedal on it. When I was pumping the foot pedal earlier, sometimes the cylinder would go up and then sometimes it wouldn't, then transmission fluid started leaking out of it. So we went and bought the Harbor Freight transmission jack, which we're gonna have to assemble here shortly. See what all we got in here. Hopefully it doesn't take a full day of not reassembling, but a full day of assembling to put this thing together. So as you can see, it's not extra super heavy duty. I picked it up with one hand. Looks like we got the looks like a 3/8. We'll go in there. It's gonna be the platform for it. Looks like we got some straps to strap the transmission to it. So it looks like all we gotta do is really mount our wheels and this thing will be ready to go. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. Everything doesn't go on and off as expected. So I'm having a little trouble getting my 1/2 inch on that line there. I don't want to strip it. So I think I'm probably gonna have to take this guy right here off, which I loosened the bolt for. Let's see if I can get that out of there. Oh, we got transmission running out of there. I guess I should have dropped the transmission pan first and let that all run out of there. Let me get something to catch this transmission fluid with. Got my trusty bucket there. That's probably gonna be pouring for a while. But the transmission fluid doesn't smell too burnt. If you can look at it, it's not a real dark color. It's still got a little pink tint to it. But the transmission does not want to go into drive right now, so we're just going to have it rebuilt. The guy's going to rebuild it for me for $1,100, somewhere in that ballpark, so I'd rather go ahead and just get it rebuilt and have it new parts and everything like that inside of it, so I know that once we start doing construction on it and doing the cosmetics on it that we're not finna run back into a problem that is gonna have us on the side of the road with a pretty vehicle getting towed, if you know what I mean. So we got that part off. Just gonna sit it up there for now. And hopefully with that being out of the way, I can get my 1/2 inch on there now. Alright, so moving right along, I got the bottom line and the top transmission line loose. I'm gonna mark them in a minute, top and bottom. So I think I want to get my drive shaft loose and out next. That shouldn't be too bad. Just a couple of screws. Looks like we got 4 screws that we need to take out. So I'll go ahead and get those out real quick. Both back on with the impact, but take them off. Shouldn't be a problem. I'll probably have to take a hammer and knock that loose. So that released that. Sorry about that. Got a little lost in there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my screws back in there. That way we don't lose them. For me, that's kind of like a little rule of thumb when I'm working on stuff. Instead of trying to keep up with the screws, I'd rather just put them back where they come from. That way when it's time to put parts back, even if I'm getting new screws, I know where to grab my screws from so that I can get the correct thread when I go get new screws. Alright, and there is where we need to extract the drive shaft. So sorry if I'm wobbly, but I'm doing this with one hand on the camera and one hand taking the drive shaft out. But there we have the drive shaft out. Got a little oil dripping on there, but we'll sit it down here for now. And there's that. Gotta get those torque converter screws out of there. There's one of the torque converter screws there. You can see it right there. Looks like we got 3 of those that we're gonna have to get out of there, so go ahead and get those out of there now. I'll cut you back on. little bit tight. Let me zoom out a little bit. But yeah, all right, there's the hole for transmission screws, and I've took 6 of those out. So we're gonna get this transmission cable off of here, take those other 2 screws out, and we're gonna see how good that Harbor Freight transmission jack work. So all right, let me grab my adjustable wrench and see if I can get this off here. I'm pretty sure it's not gonna twist off with my hand, but I'll try just for goodness sake. Huh. Would you look at there? I didn't think it would twist off with my hand, but looky there. Came right out. All right, so that's something else that I'm gonna want to tuck out of the way. So the speedometer. All right, so I think once I loosen that bolt up right there, I think that should free me. Free my people. All right, so give you a little update where we at. So we got the cross member out, which is laying there. I had to take the exhaust pipe down, and I think this thing came with a little strap, so I figured why not, we might as well use it. So I strapped it in, and I want to say that we may be ready to come out of there. Let me what do I do with my rag? I don't see my rag right now, but I'm gonna go up on the lift and see if the transmission is completely free. I took the transmission filler tube off, so I shouldn't have any problem with it coming out of there. Pretty neat how that transmission jack holds it, but so that pretty much went like I wanted it to. A little bit of hang-ups, but it wasn't too bad. So that's gonna be the back side of our motor there. We got the lines out. As I thought, only thing that was holding it is that transmission tube and what we would have been fighting against. So I got my 2 transmission lines. This bracket here was holding it up too. So we got it out. We're gonna be getting the transmission over to Corey's Transmission this week coming up. And I would say the Harbor Freight transmission jack did pretty good. All right, stay tuned. Low riding in the Carolinas.